It's been a week. Welcome back. This week it was mostly the games that I played last week transitioned over to this week. And the first one I beat is Aliens Fireteam Elite. So my opinion on this game kind of changed a little bit. It's like at first it was like really grindy. I mean, it still is, but like towards the end, the game just got a lot more interesting with all the mobs and stuff. And you actually get to go into one of the nests in one of the missions, and you see a bunch of the eggs and then the face huggers. It's so cool. It's like so accurately like made that it's pretty amazing. At the end of the day, it's still like a like just like a Destiny style of game. And I thought initially that the expansion, like they added an extra campaign, that's what they call it, but it's just a set of missions. I thought it was free, but it wasn't. It was actually a paid DLC, and now, of course, I don't want to pay for it. So I just beat the 4 campaigns that they got, and I moved on. Overall, I enjoyed it, but it could have been a little bit better, and definitely could have been better with friends. Like I said, if you can find it for $20, I do recommend it. Next up is Fear for the 360. Now, I did play this one starting last week, and then I finished it this week, of course. And the game actually got a lot better. Like the further you got, and it got more creepy, and it got more actiony because this game is more action horror than real survival horror, like I initially thought. But overall, it didn't diminish from the experience. It's still a game that's worth experiencing. And I actually was wrong. I thought this game came out little after like the launch, like in 2006, but this game came out in 2005, so it was technically part of the launch lineup, and that makes it even more impressive in my opinion. And the story does get kind of crazy and a little confusing, but once you like get it, you're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And I can't wait to play the second game. Can't go wrong with Fear. If you've never played it before, I do recommend you check it out. And now, the last game I played is a game I don't have physically because it's not available physically. That's Black Myth Wukong. This game came out on Tuesday, and I was waiting for the game to officially release before I purchased it because the reviews for the game were mostly for the PC and no one had a copy of the game for console. So I didn't want to take the chance just in case the game suffered from performance issues, but I'm glad to say that for the most part, it's stable. The only thing that happens is if it gets too crazy or when you transform into a different animal, the frame rate does get a little choppy, but it's only for a couple seconds and the game restabilizes itself. And so far, I've only put 6 hours into it. I'm on chapter 2, and so far, the game's pretty good. What I really like about the game is you can respec all your skill points whenever you want. There's no item you need to do it. You can just do it at one of the shrines that you find. It's basically a bonfire. It works exactly like Dark Souls in that aspect, but the game does not play like Dark Souls. It is it's challenging, but it's not overly challenging. Like the game it kind of nudges you to do respec for your skills, so you can experiment and see what works and what doesn't work for a specific boss. And some of the things I didn't like about the game so far is even though the world is beautiful and expansive, it's still very linear and sometimes deceptively linear. Like you think you can go a certain path, but it's not, even though it looks like you can go there. You can't jump because there's an invisible wall preventing you from going there. Another thing I don't like is that your character gets stun locked a lot, and there's some skills that kind of help you with that, but it's kind of ridiculous how often you get stun locked and you're trying to spam the roll button, but you can't because you're still in the stun lock animation. That's another thing that kind of annoyed me. You are rewarded for exploration because you can find permanent health increases, stamina increases, and mana increase, and these are crucial. And you also find different materials to upgrade your staff to different variations, different armor with passive effects, just equipping it and equipping the whole set, or certain number of the set. And you also get the souls of some of the bosses that you fight, and these souls are like you turn into it to do a certain move from the boss that you fought. And you also get a passive ability like the giant ogre thing that you fight early in the game, the blue one. If you kill it and you get its soul, you have increased defense. You can equip whichever one suits your needs for the situation at hand. And this game, for God's sakes, has a pause button. I know some people wish pause buttons were in like Souls, and this game has one, so you can switch out the spirits whenever you want. The only thing you can't switch out is your magic abilities. Those are set, and you can only do that at a shrine. Overall, 6 hours in, it's pretty good, and I'm assuming it's going to get a lot harder and hopefully a lot better. And if you were someone that's skeptical about this game, I do recommend buying it because it is worth the $60. And I'm only 6 hours in. I already got my $60 worth, but I still want to continue going. And if you are waiting for a physical copy, they did say they are planning on doing one, but it didn't specify when it's going to happen. And I'm hoping to God it's not through a limited print company and it's at retail, because I hate it when games like this, like I guess it's a double A. I don't know if it's a triple A game, but these kind of games go through limited print companies, and it's artificially rare, and only a certain time you can get it. But I'm hoping that it gets a physical copy. So if you're waiting for a physical copy, I don't know how long you're gonna be waiting. So, but I do recommend it if you like action games and if you love Chinese mythology. That's every game I beat. Not every game I beat. I beat. That is all the games I've played this week and beat this week. If you are interested in any of the games that I talked about, I do recommend each and every one. And I'll see you guys next week for the games I'm going to be playing. And oh, I almost forgot. Can you guys tell me what games you've been playing this week, of course? I mean, I want to know everything that you guys are playing. I'm very interested.